It's official, guys. We are honestly the most hated club in Newcastle right now. Honestly, they probably despise us just as much as Sunderland at this point. We stole their number one striker target and turned him into our top goal scorer. We made their best player turn against them and then took him away last summer. We went to their stadium earlier this season and broke their hearts with a last-second dagger from ynwa. And then last night, we absolutely battered them at Anfield, winning 4-1 and pushing them even further away from Champions League football next season. Yes, if we were Geordies, we would probably hate us too. So after 5 straight league games without a win, here we are riding the high of a 6-0 Champions League triumph and picking up our second win in just 3 days. The momentum is finally back, and if you missed the game or you want to see exactly how we dismantled Newcastle once again and learn why some of our players are truly special, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, and let's jump straight into the analysis. No right back available, no problem. Roberto Szoboszlai was ready to step in at right back. Sorry, I meant Dominic. The Hungarian slotted into the role alongside Ibrahima Konate, Virgil van Dijk and Milos Kerkez, forming a solid back line in front of Alisson. In midfield, we had Ryan Gravenberch, Alexis McAllister and Florian Wirtz controlling the game. Up front, Mo Salah, Cody Gakpo and Hugo Ekitike led the attack. No real surprise in the lineup, but plenty of quality all over the pitch. Now, the way the game started does not really reflect the final scoreline. If we're being honest, Newcastle were the better side early on and looked far more dangerous going forward. You could even say they deserved to take the lead 36 minutes into the game. One of the main reasons they looked better than us was because we simply could not create anything for the first 30 minutes. So why was that? Well, let us break it down together. Let us focus on the moment when this sequence begins. We are exactly 30 seconds into the 22nd minute. Alisson has the ball and plays it out to Konate. Ibu carries it forward and then finds Szoboszlai out wide. Szoboszlai holds onto it for a few seconds before playing it back to Alisson. Now look at the clock again. 20 seconds had passed, and we have played just 3 passes, only to end up right where we started, with Alisson back on the ball. We are not complaining about keeping possession here. When you have the ball, you need to look after it. What we do not like, though, is the lack of tempo. Or more accurately, the lack of any change in tempo or rhythm. For most of the opening 30 minutes, we played at the same tempo. We slowly moved the ball around, trying to keep possession without really trying to surprise Newcastle. Yes, we did see a line-breaking pass from Szoboszlai every now and then, but it was just not enough. This lack of rhythm made things very easy for Newcastle. They marked us man-to-man, pressed us aggressively, forced us backwards, and then pushed us into going long from Alisson or the centre-backs. And when we went long, we could not really progress the ball or build anything meaningful. Now, around the 30-minute mark and even before we conceded the goal, things started to change. Our performances on the ball improved, and we finally created our first real chance at the game. So what was the difference? It was the tempo shift, guys. And now let us break down exactly what changed. Here you can see us circulating the ball in the same way again, moving it from one centre-back to the other at the same tempo, without really speeding things up. But this time McAllister spots the pressing run that the Newcastle player is about to make, and this is where the magic happens. Konate finds Maka, and with the first time pass, the Argentine instantly shifts the tempo from 0 to 100. He finds Gravenberch straight away, who then slips in Ekitike through on goal. But unfortunately, Nick Pope comes up with a great save. That is how you unlock tight blocks. You invite the pressure in, and then you punish it with a sudden change of pace. It can be a quick carry, a first-time pass, or anything that speeds the game up in less than a second. From that moment on, we started to take control of the ball. And even when we conceded, we did not feel deflated like we did in the previous games. There was a calmness about the team, and you could tell we knew the game was still there for us. And just 5 minutes later, our top goal scorer stepped up to haunt the very club that once had their eyes on him. This equaliser came from a transition moment. You can see Konate, who was absolutely colossal in this game, winning the first header. From there, we moved the ball forward with quick, sharp passes between Wirtz, Hugo and Gakpo. The ball then made its way into the Newcastle box and eventually landed at Wirtz's feet. In that split second, Hugo showed brilliant movement inside the box. He dropped back from an offside position and stayed right in the defender's blind side. From there, it was simple. A calm cutback from the German found our striker, who made no mistake and slotted home the equaliser. The second goal, which came just 2 minutes later, shows just how much of a physical freak Hugo really is. We actually created this transition ourselves by taking a quick goal kick. Kerkez then played a beautiful ball over the block, and Hugo timed his run perfectly to get on the end of it. But that part was not even the most impressive. You can beat a defender with skills, feints, fake shots, and all of that stuff. Hugo does none of that here. Instead, he manipulates the player with pure change of speed. Notice how Hugo slows down as soon as he gets control of the ball. On top of that, he slightly angles his body towards the defender. That moment freezes the player in place and opens up the space for Hugo to attack. Then, out of nowhere, Hugo goes from 0 to 1,000 and explodes into the box, leaving the Newcastle player behind. And that finish with the toe at the end, that was pure peak Fernando Torres. And just like that, we flipped the game on its head in the space of about 3 minutes. From that point on, transitions became our weapon, and in the second half, Newcastle simply could not live with us. We were faster, sharper, and more direct every time we won the ball. In fact, our third goal also came from a transition after we won possession higher up the pitch. And while Wirtz's finish was brilliant, the small detail in the build-up was what we enjoyed the most. At first glance, it looked like a simple pass into Salah before he gets the return and scores. But watch closely. Wirtz opens his body and lifts his arms as if he's about to do something completely different. From the defender's point of view, it could be a shot, a reverse pass into Cody Gakpo, or a clipped ball into Hugo Ekitike. That tiny bit of disguise creates doubt, and that doubt is everything. It buys Wirtz and his teammates an extra second, a bit of space, and in the end, the advantage they needed. After that, the hero of the night, at least in our eyes, was Ibrahima Konate, who went on to score the fourth goal. It was a goal that felt fully deserved after a performance that reminded everyone just how good the Frenchman really is. And when you look at the injuries we have been dealing with, it has been reported that Ibu has asked Slot if he could rejoin the group earlier than planned. That alone tells you everything about his professionalism, no matter what rumours have been said about his commitment to this club. Konate lost his father not too long ago, and you could see just how much that moment meant to him in his reaction after scoring. All we can see here at Panenka is this. We are sure Ibu's father would be proud of him, and so are we. So guys, this was one of those nights that remind you why we love football so much. Not just because of the scoreline, but because of the way we played, the reactions we showed, and the mentality of this team when things started to clear. After a tough run of games and a lot of noise around the club, the players answered in the best possible way. We saw quality, we saw intensity, and most importantly, we saw belief. From this tempo shift in the first half to deadly transitions in the second, this was a performance full of confidence and personality. Players like Konate, Wirtz, Hugo, and so many others stepped up when it mattered, and that is exactly what big teams do. This win does not fix everything, but this is a massive step in the right direction. It shows what this team is capable of when things come together and when the mindset is right. Now it's about building on this, staying consistent, and carrying this energy into the next game. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and we'll see you in the next one.